treatment-emergent adverse event flag. Okay. So first we try to understand what is this adverse events are, what is this treatment-emergent adverse events are, and then we can talk in detail about what is what, how to proceed further. Okay. First of all, when you call an adverse event as a treatment-emergent adverse event. So just now you told to me, Anuradha, right? Can you repeat it?
Yeah, flagging the adverse event when the subject faces adverse events once the patient has been exposed to the treatment drug.
Okay.
Any adverse event occurring, any adverse event occurring once the subject has been exposed to the treatment drug, study drug.
Okay. Your way of understanding this is going to be any adverse event that happened right after the treatment start date. You can call that particular right after the study drug. You can call that particular one as a treatment emergent adverse event. Correct? Can I say that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But there is a clause to it. It is not that straightforward. It is
But
not.
any relation should be related to drugs, sir. Then it will be considered as treatment emergent adverse event.
Okay. Again, the same thing. Treatment emergent adverse. Okay. Samatha, right? Samatha, just go ahead with your own definition. Tell me what you understand.
If the adverse event is related to treatment, then it will be considered as treatment emergent adverse event.
Okay, again, the same thing. If it is going to be a related to the treatment, you are going to call that particular one as a treatment emergent adverse event. But still, I can say that there is a clause. It is not that straightforward as well. But on a nutshell, if you talk, I mean to say that if I talk about in general, as per your guidelines, if I say both of your answers are correct. As per the guidelines, it is correct. But when I talk about, the regular studies, when I take the scenarios, these will change, right? So first understand what is your view, then we can go ahead with this. So I can say that any event, I can call it as an event, whatever the event that we are talking about, or to be precise, any adverse event that emerges, two things, emerges during the treatment. Am I correct? During the treatment, but not exist in pre-treatment period. Can I call this? What is the meaning of this, guys? Can anyone tell me?
So that adverse event was not prior to the treatment. It
Exactly.
is occurred after the treatment.
Exactly. Along with your treatment or after your treatment, the adverse event got to happen. But this adverse event doesn't have any trace before my treatment start date. That is in the screening, in the randomization, it doesn't occur at all. But right after or on the day of your treatment or right after your treatment, it started. That is one. Other thing. There is another way of explaining this also. Any adverse event, right? It worsens this. It worsens relative to the post-treatment state. What is the meaning of this?
The severity of the adverse event has been increased or altered. I mean, if it is worsening means definitely it is like increasing only. So because of the treatment, the adverse event severity has been increased.
Wonderful. So how do I know that which one is going to be before the treatment or after the treatment? Okay. So for this particular one, we draw a simple diagram. So that is, my adverse event depend on two things. First, the thin line is going to be, has it occurred on and after the treatment or before the treatment? Yes or no? First thing. So for this, I need a reference. How do you know the reference? Anyone?
RFS TDTC.
Just RFS TDTC or anything else? Okay, maybe I'm not that good at the drawing, but I'll try. let us say that there are 2 events that I'm taking. Okay. Or there are 2 dates I'm taking. This is the date 1. This is the date 2. So there are 2 references, right? Two dates I'm taking now. Between these 2 days, whatever I have is going to be my period. For an example, between these 2 dates, I'm taking certain period. It should come properly. Ah, wonderful. I can appreciate myself. Yeah. So this is going to be the period. Now I can say that this one, whatever the first line is going to be, this is going to be a reference start date. This is going to be my reference end date. So between these two, whatever I have is going to be my window. Correct? Now, how do I understand this? This reference start date in generally is going to be your RF SDTC, treatment start date. This typically is going to be RF ENDTC. Between this period, you are going to consider as a period which is related to the treatment. Can I simply say that this whole period that I'm considering here, can I call this particular one as a treatment period? Am I right? Anything after this particular one, I can call this particular one as a follow-up. Anything prior to this, I'm going to call that as a screening. Screening, randomization, all those. Or I can call it as anything which is happening prior to that is going to be pre-treatment. The reason I'm calling it as a pre-treatment can be anything after this. Maybe I can also call this particular one as a post-treatment. Yes or no? What and all comes under my pre-treatment and what and all comes under my post-treatment? Anyone? My pre-treatment can consist of screening, it can consist of your run-in, it can consist of your randomization. Yes or no? All these are going to be the phases before my treatment period. After the post-treatment, what and all I have? I have end of the treatment period, test of cure, I have late follow-up. Correct? I have end of the treatment, I have test of cure, maybe I can write it. End of the treatment, it is generally plus 2 days or plus 15 days or whatever that I'm also going to talk about that. Second is going to be I have test of cure. And then I can also have late follow-up. So these are the various elements that occurs after my treatment. These are the elements that is present before my treatment, but this is the one which I'm going to have during the treatment. I only have the treatment within that week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, all those things. Correct? Now, let us say there is an adverse event, any adverse event for a matter of the fact, any adverse event. Okay, maybe I'm simply taking one here, any one here. So this is what my adverse event is. Now this adverse event got confused. Hey, I'm adverse event, well and good. I'm okay with this particular one, but where do I belongs to? Do I belongs to, am I a treatment adverse emergent or not? How do I know that? Being an adverse event, how do I know where I'll fall under? That is what we are going to discuss. So I have a treatment reference period. Anything prior to the anything prior to my treatment period, definitely not going to be an adverse event. Or there is an adverse event which is present in your treatment, pre-treatment also it is there, but it becomes worse when it comes to the treatment window. That also can be considered as your a treatment emergent. Can I go ahead with this? Can I go ahead with the discussion now? Up to this, all of you are able to follow. What is your window? Is that understandable? Yes or no? Now I'm going to give the justification for these two. That is, I take this particular one now. Now, any event that emerges during the treatment, but not in the post-pre-treatment period, meaning let's say that there is an adverse event here. That adverse event is nothing but vomiting. Let us say vomiting started after my treatment started. but vomiting is not part of my pre-treatment. Can I straight away consider this particular one as a treatment emergent flag, treatment emergent adverse event? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Answer is no. There is another thing. I'll also talk about that. But anyways, theoretically speaking, it is yes. By the one that I'm highlighting here, the line that I'm highlighting here, as per this particular line, it's supposed to be. Ideally speaking, it is yes, but I also need to consider a clause. The clause we will discuss in a while. Second, I have a head. The patient got headache here. The subject got headache here. The severity of this is mild. On the other day, this happened in the screening. Again, the subject got headache. The severity is moderate. Now, in the treatment, after the second dose, subject again got headache, but it is going to be moderate. What I can call it as? Can I call this as a treatment emergent adverse event?
No.
No.
No or yes?
No, sir.
No.
No, because the grade is not changed. Toxicity grade, or it is going to be your severity of your adverse event haven't changed. So what are the things that I need to consider? One, what is the severity of your adverse event I need to consider, or toxicity grade I need to consider? Number two, I also need to take care about where it is happening. Remember yesterday we talked about something, ADY. You remember that? What is ADY? Anyone?
Analysis day.
Exactly. When it comes to the adverse event, what is going to happen? This analysis day is lesser than or equal to 1, or it is less than 1. What is the meaning? It happened before the treatment. If this value is greater than or equal to 1, it is going to be a treatment period. Yes or no? ADY is nothing but it is going to be a calculation of AE STDTC minus RF STDTC plus AE STDTC greater than or equal to RF STDTC. Is this the calculation? But I talked everything in terms of, this one. But ideally speaking, it is going to be adverse event start date minus treatment date, treatment start date plus adverse event start date greater than or equal to treatment start date. Yes or no? Because everything I need to talk in the ADAM terms, not on your SDTM terms. First of all the considerations and the basic definitions of your treatment emergent adverse event. Is this clear to all of you so far?
Sir,
Can
one question, sir.
Go ahead.
So you're telling about we are all considering in Adams. So in SDTM, we do not talk about any emergent flags, right?
We don't. But okay, wonderful question to bring up. See, though this emergent flag is related to adverse event, Adams, right? We need to talk about this somewhere in the SDTM also. But unfortunately, your SDTM.AE doesn't have scope for that. Yes or no? If I talk about SDTM, this is a wonderful question. Thanks for bringing this. For an example, I have a subject ID, unique subject ID is there. I can see that there is going to be a AE code, which is nothing but your dictionary defined term for your thing. Then I have AE STDTC, that is adverse event start date. And I also have AE adverse event end date. Only that information I have, AE ENDTC. But I know very clearly that this adverse event, whatever I'm talking about, let's say this is going to be P111, just I'm giving some information here. Now, if I talk about this, I know that there is going to be something called headache. There is going to be something called vomiting. Then there is going to be a skin rash. So there are 3 adverse event happens with the different start dates and end dates. I know all these 3 are treatment emergent flags. These are going to be, these and all happened after my treatment start only. I know that particular one by looking at it. But my SDTM doesn't have a scope. So the question is, where can I keep them? Because I want to make sure that it is going to be, it should become easy when it goes to Adam. So how can I track that? I don't want to lose them. I don't want to lose the track of them. So where can I have them?
Supplementary domain.
Wonderful, Samatha. That's the right answer. This is the reason we are going to use supplementary domains. In the supplementary domain, I can create my own variable there. I can say that AE TRTEM. It is a treatment emergent or not, I'm going to make, I just keep over there. That is the reason supplementary domains also will be considered as a input for my Adams. Here, I'm going to keep a track of it. I'll just say yes, yes, and yes. I just keep a track of it here. Hey, these three adverse events are going to be treatment emergent. Then I'm going to bring this particular one to the Adams, right? Let's say that here is what my Adam starting. Adam.AE, ADAE. So here I'm going to have this particular details. Here I'll say that for the same unique subject ID, maybe I'll write only few of them. For the same unique subject ID, I'm going to have adverse event start date. I'm also going to have what I can call it as let's say treatment emergent flag only. Only for that I'm going with TRTEMFL. So now how I'm going to keep this particular one for these three? This is going to be my adverse, this one. So within this, I'm going to have the start date. Here I'm going to have the flags. But to keep a track of it, even in the SDTM, if I want to have them, I can have it as a variable in the supplementary domain. Whoever it is, I think Anuradha, have I answered your question? It doesn't mean that I cannot keep that into the AE, because I cannot, because I have a strict guidelines about what variables I need to keep there. But still, if I want to maintain the track of it, being a sponsor, I can take a decision of keeping them as a supplemental variable in a supplemental data set. And I can track that one until your Adams. There I can trace back again. If I want to have a look, I can simply have a look at the supplemental data sets and I can track them. If I want to maintain a traceability, this is one of the way.
So AE relation also helps in finding out the thing, sir.
Definitely it will help, right?
Yes, in the main SDTM AE.
Yeah, because the thing is, for an example, I flagged one of the unique subject ID with one of the event as what I can call it as adverse event flag. But if I want to check whether it is really adverse event emergent flag or not, where do I check it? I need to trace back to the SDTM. The source is again SDTM only, right? I need to trace back. But unfortunately, SDTM does not have all the details in the AE data set. So now I'm going to cross check with these two. Have I maintained any supplemental data set or not? In the supplemental data set, I'm going to cross check and I'm going to put that. Traceability matters. For that, I definitely need to have all these details into the SDTM. Just give me some time, maybe in another 15-20 minutes of the time, because purposefully I have not entered these due dates here also. I need to explain one more topic here that is called imputation of the dates. Dates imputations. I need to talk about that. So there I'll talk about this. But until this, both Anuradha and Samatha, are you able to follow it?
Yes, sir. So supplementary data plays a very vital role then
In
for
these cases,
analysis data set.
in these cases, right? But again, it is a sponsor specific. If I don't want to maintain it, no one is going to say anything, right? In that particular case, what I need to, let's say that I don't maintain this particular one, still my traceability exists. How? I have my start date, end date here. I have the DM RFSTDTC. Anyways, RFSTDTC data, I'm going to bring it here for the purpose of calculation of AESCDY, AEENDY. Yes or no? I have all the three variables there. I can still do that without using the SDTM supplementary domains. Without using that also, still I can do this. But this is going to give an extra cushion because these are already available.
So AE-REL variable also helps, sir.
AE-REL helps. The problem with the AE-REL is going to be because those AE rel values will be different now. That is nothing like, if I remember, a closely related, not at all related, mildly related, like this. Correct or not? AE rel. It is not exactly going to give the value whether it is 100% reliable or not. There are use cases. My AE rel will say that, what I can call it as AE rel will say that undetermined, or it is not related completely, but I can have AE treatment emergent flag as yes. It has yes, because how AE REL will be calculated based on whatever my study drug composition is going to be. And again, whether this particular study drug will cause these effects or not. We know some of the clinical events, correct? We may expect few. If more than, let's say I'm going with 100 people, 100 subjects, 80 subjects got this particular adverse event, then what is the meaning? It is related, correct? If out of 100, only 30 people got it, I really cannot say whether it is related or not. 30 people is a big number. At the same time, I cannot completely strike out the case of only 70 people haven't get it. So I can say that it is not related, because AE REL is something which we are going to derive, which we are going to manage during the course of the study. We don't have a concrete information on that. Yes or no? I cannot depend on that completely. That is the reason you are getting this treatment emergent flag. If AE REL is going to give me the complete details, what is the logic of going with, treatment emergent flag? No need, right, Samantha?
Yes, sir.
Am I making sense now what I'm trying to say here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's not capturing the clear information.
Because it is not a clinical event. If it is a clinical event, I know the details because these are the symptoms, correct? But it is not an adverse event because which is unforeseen. I don't see this particular one. I really don't know this adverse event happened because of the study drug or not. To calculate that only, we are going with this treatment emergent flag to get that concrete details. Okay, AE REL will not be sufficient there. There are a lot of scenarios where REL says that undetermined or not relatable, right? But your emergent flag is going to be yes for that. There are a lot of scenarios. Any other questions?
Sir, here vomiting is not considered as treatment emergent. Why, sir? Here, when you have given the reference period and
Oh, no, don't relate these two. This is an example. These two are not related.
No, sir. Well, you are asking a question like vomiting as an example, and you said whether it is as a treatment emergent AE or not.
I'll come to that. I'll give the data and I'll come to that. See, all I want to say is anything emergent emerges after your treatment start date. Not all of them are emergent flags. Not all of them are emergent events. I want to tell you that, and I'm going to support you that with the data. I'll clarify that now. That is what we are going to do. We need to demystify all this, what I can call it as treatment emergent flags. We will go through that. I know what you're asking. Sir, you mentioned vomiting is not going to be considered as an adverse event, treatment emergent adverse event. You're asking me why. That's your question, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll answer that. I haven't come with the data yet for it. I'm going to prepare the data for it. All of you are clear up to this? If no questions, I can proceed with my next step in this. Okay. Now, so generally, what is the range for us, guys? The general range that we are going to consider is going to be anything. My adverse event start date, I'm going to compare with reference start date and time. That is, this is going to be adverse. I have two things to compare, right? Okay, let me write it. Compare dates. So how I'm going to compare? I'm going to compare my adverse event start date and time in character format with my reference start date and time. And also I'm going to consider my adverse event end date and time in character format with reference end date and time in character format. These are the typical 4 dates I'm going to consider to calculate or to derive my treatment emergent flag in general. Yes or no? Okay. This will be this will be or what I can call it as. Suppose if this is going to be a treatment emergent flag, when you say it is going to be yes, in a nutshell, this is going to be treated as yes when I can say that my adverse event start date and time, my adverse event start date and time. Tell me this. This is, can I say that my adverse event start date and time is between reference start date and time and reference end date and time? Can I simply call this particular one as your flag? All of you accept that? My adverse event is started from any time between my RFSTDTC and RFENDTC. I can simply call that as going to be as treatment emergent flag. Yes or no? Team, is this correct or not? Simple,
Yes,
straightforward. I can say that overall, in a simple manner, this is the answer. But this is not true for all. It is not true for all. That is where we require the data. So first of all, if someone asks you what is going to be a treatment emergent flag, you can simply say that any adverse event that happened or that occurred, that emerged after my treatment start date, but it is not exist, it is not occurred in my pre-treatment period, I can consider that as a treatment emergent adverse event. Number one. Number two, any adverse event, it is a occurring, it's occurring again and again. AE occurrence is equal to yes. That is, it happened in my pre-treatment period, but it became worse in the treatment period. The severity got increased. Still, I can consider that particular event as a treatment emergent adverse event. This is on a nutshell. Next, when I need to bother or when the things will be complicated, this is my interest. Here is what my interest is. Complications. That is where we need to concentrate now, right? So where it will be complicated means three scenarios I'll give you. Number one, when an adverse event happens during a washout period, AE happens in washout period. Why it is important? We will come to that. Number one. Number two, an adverse event occurs in a treatment period, but displays a severity changes in the post-treatment. That is, AE occurs in treatment period. That is fine. But severity changes. Severity changes in follow-up treatments. The meaning is, again, washout, crossover treatments. So in a simple way, if I want to say, whenever this crossover studies comes to the picture, calculation of this event, that is adverse event, which is going to be, treatment emergent, is a difficult task. Number three, worst case, only partial dates are available. So these are the three scenarios where it made difficult. It become difficult for us. Okay, now let's see all these cases to understand this better. Okay, all of you are with me so far? First, I will go with this normal scenario. I will explain this treatment emergent flag in detail, how to calculate and all. And then we can go ahead with the other scenario. The other scenario is going to be where even it is appeared in the treatment emergent flag, why you don't consider that as a yes. Let me go there. First, I'm preparing some random data, guys. Just a second. Allow me a moment, please. I need some data. I'm lazy enough, so I'm just trying to take the data from our projects. Adam. ADAE is here. Okay, let's take this. Okay. Okay, let me take this guy. So all I need is, I need a unique subject ID. I do have it now. I need a study ID. I have it here. Number 2, I need something called AED code. I can have it here later. I can change it in a way I want. And then what else I require? I only prepare what I need for now. Severity matters because severity changes means it is going to be changed. So severity is the one other thing that I require. Okay, anyways, it's a simple thing. A is severity. Then what I require, seriousness, whether it is a serious adverse event or not, how serious it is. What is going to be analysis start date? What is going to be analysis end date? Then we brought what I can call it as, it is AENDT, right? Adverse event start date, adverse event end date. Maybe I can take 2. Then I'm going to take treatment start date. I require the treatment start date, which is RF-SDT, right? TRT, SDT, and what else I required? Okay, let's say that this is the basic information I would need, guys. Basic information from Adams. So what and all I required here? I need the information about these fields. So what is going to be my study ID? It is going to be the same for all. Let's keep it same. Then let's see how many of them are there. Okay, any number, that's never mind. Unique subject ID remains going to be the same. I'm taking only one subject for my reference. I'm going to take some simple ones to understand. Let us say that the subject got nausea first. Then the subject got skin rash. Then there is something called headache. Again, the skin rash happened 1, 2 times, it repeated. Headache, I want to take the repeated ones one more time. Again, skin rash happened. What else I can take? Headache, let's say 2 more times it happened. And then let's take serious one, congestive heart failure, CHF. What else I can take it? Let's say pneumonia happened. What else? Simple constipation. Last one, dizziness. So these and all the various adverse events happened for the subject. Okay, all of you are with me? These and all the various things that are happened for the subject during the course of study. Entire course of study, these are the things that are happened. Okay, next. Severity. I need to give some severities now. So let's say it is mild. Skin rash, initially it is also mild. Headache, severe headache or moderate headache. Let's start with moderate. After preparing the data, you guys need to answer me everything. Okay. Then mild, moderate, randomly taking guys. Severe, moderate, mild. These are the various severities. Let's say serious adverse event or not. Obviously, nausea is going to be not a serious adverse event. No. Headache, maybe no. Then I can say that only congestive heart failure I'm taking as a S, and also taking pneumonia as a S. Remaining all I'm taking as no. This is okay. Seriously, it's not up to me. Okay. Now, treatment start date. Can I say that RF-SDTC is going to be the same? For the subject, RF-SDTC remains same, right? Let us say that for all these subjects, RF-SDTC, what is the date today? 29th June. I'm taking as 10th June. Just give me a second. All these I would need it as a text. Because it should be in a date 9 format, right? So it should be on a 10th June. 10th June or 15th June 2023. This is the date the treatment got started. Or last month we can take. 15th April 2023. This is the date treatment started for this guy, planned treatment, RFSTDTC. Okay, now adverse event start dates I need to take. Let us say this one happened on 4 days prior. Oh, it won't take. Okay, I need to type it. This happened on 10th April 2023. It was there, nausea is there only for a day. Okay, we are good. Next, skin rash. Again, it happened on 11th April 2023. I don't know the adverse event end date. I don't know. It is not captured. Then the third one, which is nothing but one more adverse event, but this adverse event happened on 14th April 2023. It was there only for 1 day. This is my data. Now, from here onwards, the skin rash, all these things will be there now. For the same patient only, it happened on different days. It started with 17th April 2023. The same happened maybe. The same happened on the next day. Then 19th April, I'm giving some random dates. Then 19th April, he got 2 skin rash as well as headache. 20th April, this one has come twice. Guys, can I have 2 records on the same day for the same AED code? Will it be possible? Team, will that be possible?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Adverse events, right? Like headache, nausea, vomiting can happen on the same day.
But I'm talking about headache with the same severity happened on the same day, same adverse event start day. That's what my question is.
Then data issues, sir. Like we cannot have
No.
2 of them.
No.
Duplicates.
No. This is only the date. Adverse event start date in time in character format can have both date and time. This guy has a headache from morning 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. Again, the same guy, same day, same headache, same severity from evening 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Possibility is there or not?
Yes, sir. You're correct.
Yeah, just demystifying data, nothing else. When I got these 2, I need to know whether it is accurate data or not. It is not a data issue. It is something which we need to deal with the, what I can call it as times. But start date here is only going to be a date parameter. Start time is the one which is going to have a time parameter. Since I'm talking about date only, it is absolutely possible. These 2 are not duplicates, correct? All right, next one. So end dates, we need to talk about the end dates as well. Let us say dizziness from 23rd April, 1 month is going to be 23rd May. I'm just taking 27th May 2023 for this. And then these and all 1 days. I'm just taking one day. So this is going to be 19th April here, 19th April here, 21st, no date here, 21st. Then I'm going to take 22nd. This one is going to be 22nd May 2023. These are my dates. This is my data. Guys, now I need all of your what I can call it as attention. Tell me, guys, now I want to calculate what I can call it as my next variable. My next variable is going to be treatment emergent flag. How you calculate it? Let's forget about the coding. Coding we can do later. When you know the logic, we can always write the code. Now all I need is the logic. You guys help me with the logic now. I want to calculate here TRT emergent flag. For this one, what and all you require? Do you have all the data? First thing, tell me. Do you have the data?
Yes, sir.
Everyone, do you have the data? If you have the data, tell me how do you calculate it? Help me with that.
So we will be considering the first dot and last dot, and we'll comparing the severity.
Samatha, please, no coding.
No coding.
Only the logic. You can write coding anyways. All I need is a logic. Okay. First thing.
Anything that happened prior to the treatment start date,
Wonderful.
we'll take the emergent flag as N, and anything happens after the treatment start date, then we'll take it as Y.
But second point, how do you talk about the second point? How do you deal the second point?
Based on the severity, like if it has been increased.
But that you're not taking here, na? That you're not considering here, na? You're straight away saying that anything after the date you're considering. Okay. First thing is, I'm going with your first answer. First, I need to know when my adverse event started. Is it happened before the treatment start date, or on the day of treatment start date, or after the treatment start date? Where is that baseline is? When my treatment start date is started, 15th April. So can I say that any adverse event started before 15th April, for all those, treatment emergent flag is equal to no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Initially, I'm talking about. Yes, over a period, we will change it again. Over a period, we will change it again. So if I
then treatment started, we will be considering as no.
So can I say that this is my first area to consider? Before this, whatever I have by default, first of all, I assume that for all this, the treatment emergent flag equal to no. Yes or no? Because these three adverse events started before my treatment start date. My treatment start date is 15th April. These are happened 10th, 11th, and 14th. So as per my first definition, if I'm not taking the grading into the consideration, but as per my first thing, anything which is happened in the pre-treatment stage, I don't consider that as a treatment emergent flag. Yes or no? Anyone want to modify this? Anyone want to modify this? Okay. Now, what is my second thing? Anything happen after this by default are going to be, as per the definition, by default are going to be yes. If it is a normal scenario. Now I will go with the considerations. The considerations are going to be, let us say, it is a crossover study. And here, I haven't considered my, okay, let's go one by one. Ideally speaking, all those supposed to be yes, because any adverse event which got emergent after my treatment start date supposed to be yes. But also I need to check whether it happened in the pre-treatment period or not. If yes, I need to consider my severity into the consideration. I haven't taken my severity here yet. Yes or no? Guys?
Yes, sir.
Now, can I take the severity into the consideration now? Okay, now let's say we can consider that as a base severity. Just what is the base severity? See this? Just a second. All I need is nausea in the pre-treatment phase. Nausea repeated any times? Nausea not at all repeated, right? It happened only once, correct or not? Maybe I'll add one more just to talk about this. So nausea again, moderate, 13th April 2023, 14th April 2023. Right. Still treatment emergent flag is yes. Now you can see if I go ahead with this particular one here, if I consider nausea, nausea is the one which is appeared only in the pre-treatment. That's the reason I given the color coding. Now it appeared twice. What are them? Once the severity is mild, another time the severity is moderate. Which is going to be the severe one? Moderate. So in the pre-treatment period, the severity is moderate. That is my base severity. Everyone accept or not? Team, yes or no? Nausea in the pre-treatment happened twice. One with the severity of mild, another with the severity of moderate. I need to take the highest severity. My highest severity there is moderate. So nausea in the pre-treatment period has a severity of moderate. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right. Same is the case with the skin rash. In the skin rash happened in the non-treatment, pre-treatment period as only once, which is mild. Headache happened only once, which is moderate. Done? Now, go one by one. First, nausea. Oh, not here. Skin rash, right? Because now I'm taking all the ones which are happened in the post-treatment period or in the treatment period, sorry. In the treatment period, whatever happened, I'm going to calculate now. So skin rash is the one which is there in the treatment period, but it is also exists in the pre-treatment period, right? So in this time, I cannot directly give that particular one as a treatment emergent flag as a yes for that. Directly, I cannot give because it has existence in the pre-treatment period. See this. Emergence during the treatment period, but not exist in the pre-treatment period, but it is exist in the pre-treatment period. Yes or no? Right? When it is exists, I need to look at the severity. Now, do you understand where I'm going to make a shift from emerging versus severity? All of you are able to understand this? Questions? If I go with the first one, this is the answer. But there is another thing. As per my statement, any adverse event should exist only in the treatment period, but should not present in the pre-treatment period. But this one present in the treatment period also, pre-treatment period also. Now my rule supposed to change. How my rule supposed to change? My rule supposed to be changed now by considering the severity. What is my base severity? Mild. What is my severity in the treatment? Mild. Can I consider the treatment flag as yes? Because the mild is going to be there for everyone. It is a base. Base severity will not change. Base severity will not change. For all the skin rash, base severity is going to be mild only, which will be coming from pre-treatment period. Now, I'm going to compare my base severity versus adverse event severity, which has happened in the treatment. What do you mean by worse? Compared to your base severity, your current event severity must be high. Then only I can consider as it is worsened. Yes or no? Now tell me, this adverse event which happened on the 17th April, which is going to be a skin rash, which is also mild in nature, my pre-treatment also mild in nature, can I consider this treatment emergent flag as yes?
No, sir.
What it is now?
N.
Right. What about the next one?
N.
What about the next one?
Yes.
Wonderful. Makes sense? Are you able to find the difference? Okay. Come back to the next one. Now I can say that all my skin rash, which is part of the treatment, is done. Okay. What is the next one? Headache is there. Now let's consider headache. Yes, it is exists in both. What is the severity? Moderate. So that is going to be the severity throughout. Yes. What about the adverse event which has happened on the 19th? Mild versus moderate. What is that treatment emergent flag? Hello, hello, hello.
No, sir.
Right. How about the remaining two?
Both are yes.
Right. It's also done. What's next? Still, I have 4 more. What are them? CHF. Is CHF exists in the, the pre-treatment period? No, I don't have any severity. Severity won't ever come to the consideration. Why? It happened only in the treatment period. In the pre-treatment, it is not exist. The moment it is not exist, my base severity will be null. I don't need to bother about it. Straight away, I can put my treatment emergent flag as yes. Correct? Still, it holds good to the previous one. Now, select the remaining 3. Pneumonia, dizziness, constipation. All these are present only in the treatment period. Are these present in my previous thing? No, pre-treatment, all these are not there. All these are emergent only in the treatment period. All of them are yes. Up to this is correct. Yes or no? Now you understand, even though it is emergent in the treatment period, still I have an option of still I need to calculate whether it is yes or no based on this existence in the pre-treatment period. If it is exists in the pre-treatment period, in that particular case, I need to bring my severity into the consideration. Then only I need to calculate it. Make sense? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But it is not over yet. It is not over yet. I want to add one more scenario. Let me talk about that scenario now. But up to this, all of you are clear? Can I say yes or no? Everyone. First of all, who asked this question? I forgot. Is it Ajay or Samata?
Me only, sir. Samatha.
Samata. Okay. Samata, is it clear up to this?
Yes, sir.
Let me add one more thing. My treatment emergent flag, the calculation depends on SAP, statistical analysis planning. If your statistician mentioned that, hey, whatever I mentioned, all these works good as long as it is going to be a parallel study design. Only for that. The moment I go with crossover, right away, what will happen? Every subject is going to get more than one drug, right? If I have 2 drugs, subject is going to get both the drugs. Between both the drugs, what I'm going to have? Washout period. Correct or not? What is this washout period? This is the time that drug is going to take completely to get away from the body. Am I correct or not? That is what you are going to consider that as a washout period, right? Now the thing is, what happened if an adverse event happened in the washout period? Team, I have drug A followed by washout period, then followed by drug B, then followed by washout period. Done. This is my treatment arm. Only 2. Let's say placebo also not there. Now the question is, washout period is for 14 days. My washout period is there for 14 days. Now tell me, if anything happened here, or if anything happened in the second washout period, what is the meaning?
That means there is still an active drug in his body.
Exactly. Mean to say that now I need to consider the cutoff date. Correct? Or cutoff days. What is this cutoff days? Cutoff days is nothing but your washout period. Mean to say, if I go with the crossover period, I need to consider that whatever is my treatment start date, I need to consider that. Along with that, how many number of days are there washout period? That washout period also I need to consider. Correct or not? The window is now washout period comes to the picture. If anything happens, let's say a subject has taken drug A on 23rd of June, or let's say 23rd of May, my washout period is going to be 14 days. So from there, next to 14 days, whatever adverse event happen, that also be accountable for my drug A only. Yes or no? Is this understandable what I'm trying to say? My drug A period is not just my treatment start date. My drug A period will be valid, or any adverse event will be tagged to the drug A as long as this washout period also considered. Washout period will come to the picture there. Correct?
Sir, one question, sir.
Hmm.
Sorry to interrupt you. Is it treatment start date or treatment end date we have to consider? Treatment end date plus washout period, right? Then only drug A comes into the picture.
Treatment start date, treatment end date remains same, right? It's a visit, right? Treatment coming for day 0. Same day he comes, same day he will go. Any treatment visit lasts only for 1 day. Yes or no? Remember the subject visit domain?
Correct, sir. Thank you.
But yours is also right. Nothing wrong in that. I can take treatment end date also. Nothing wrong in that because both of them are same. Okay. So for ease of understanding, I'm talking about the start perspective because I'm still sticking to this particular diagram. This diagram. Okay. Now what I need to do is, what is the additional thing coming to the picture? Plus 14 days. Correct or not? That is, my cutoff days are coming to the picture. My cutoff days are nothing but the washout period days, which are equal to 14 days. You can ask me, Murli, how it is going to make any changes here. Let me come back. Take each one again. So far, what we done, we checked whether it is there in the pre-treatment or not. If it exists in the pre-treatment, we taken severity into the consideration and we went ahead. But the moment this what are we called as crossover studies comes to the picture, I also need to take this cutoff days. Your statistician will say that as part of your SAP, hey, I need to consider from the treatment start date 14 days only. If any adverse event happened between the treatment start date plus 14 days, that will belongs to that particular drug, else the next drug. Okay, where it is going to play a role, I'll tell you now.
So one more question.
Go ahead.
Why can't it happen in parallel study? Like based on the study or the drug what you have taken, even in the parallel study, adverse event might happen during washout period, right? Like single drug, because of the presence of the active drug. That time also we might, like based on the study, we might, or based on the statistician or SAP, we might have to consider washout period even in parallel study also.
But the problem is, I don't have washout period in a parallel study because it's the same drug.
Yeah,
Correct?
what if adverse event happens in the follow-up period? So that is
still
considered as.
Okay. The problem here is, Anuradha, what we are trying to bring is the adverse event happening because of the drug A or because of the drug B. That is what I want to understand. Okay. When it comes to the parallel study, between each drug, I'm going to have a gap. I don't call it as a drug or washout period, but still, let's say that I have a 14 days gap between that. Let's say that. In any 14 days it happens, still it belongs to the drug A only, because subject assigned to only one drug throughout the study. It doesn't matter for me whether this drug or whatever the adverse event happened in this 14 days, it can be because of this drug A, but this drug, both of them are same, right? Same drug, right? What I'm trying to bring here is, let us say drug A I have taken 14 days window, then I have drug B, again 14 days window, then again I have drug A. This is what the cycle that I'm repeating. If anything happened here, that is because of drug A. If anything happened here, that is because of the drug B. I can differentiate that. But when it comes to the parallel study design, anywhere it is going to be drug A only. Wherever it happened because of drug A only, it happened. I never mind. You understand the point here, Anuradha?
So just to distinguish between which drug
drug?
caused the adverse event.
Exactly.
Okay, makes sense,
Which
sir.
drug?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which
Thank you,
drug?
sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful. Now come back to this. Now look at this. Here I have adverse event start date. I have adverse event end date. Now I need to think about adverse event end dates. Any adverse event which is happened or which is what I can call it as any time after this 15 days window, after this 15 days window, I don't need to bother about that. What do you mean by that 15 days window? Can anyone help me with that?
So based on the half cycle of the drug, like I mean to say, like how many days the drug will be retained in the body, like so 15 days or 10 days.
Okay. See this particular one. 23rd April. Let's say I'm going with the last one. Okay, first go with this 18th April. The adverse event ended on immediate next day. I don't mind because 14 days. Okay, let's talk like this. Each date plus 14 days is the window that I need to consider. Yes or no? Washout period is there for each one. For each one, the washout period is from the drug taken date 14 days. Correct? My drug taken date is going to be 15th April 2023. From there, 14 days is going to be the washout period. That is 29th April. Right? Now look at this. There is a drug, okay, there is an adverse event. For an example, I'm going with this particular one. This I'll change a little, guys. 3rd May 2023. Okay. This I will change it as 30th April 2023. This is going to be 02 May. This is going to be 10th May. Look at this. These two are happened after my treatment start date only. So still emergent flag is yes. These two events are happened of these two events doesn't have its existence in the pre-treatment. So I don't need to take the severity also into the consideration. So these two obviously will be considered as yes only. Correct or not? So far, our understanding. But see, these two adverse events happened after my 14 days window. What is the window that I need to consider? From the treatment date, 14 days I need to consider. That is what my washout period is. Correct? Let's say this is the last drug. After this, I don't have any. After this, I have follow-up only. That is what here I mentioned. AE occurs in the treatment period, but severity changes in the follow-up treatments are AE occurred after my washout period. Washout period plays a very important role. Look at this. These two dates, if I consider, these two are outside my 14 days window. Yes or no? Mean to say, this drug is going to be effective in my body only for 14 days. I take the drug on 15th April. It is going to have an effect until 29th April. But this has happened on 30th. Can I say this happened because of the study drug? Yes or no? Team, is the logic understandable? Treatment start date is 15th. That is, I taken the drug on 15th. It has an effect of washout period as 14 days. Take whatever the scenario it is. From there, 29th April, the drug is present in my body, study drug. But the adverse event of constipation happened on 30th April. It started on 30th April. It was there until 2nd May. Dizziness started by 3rd May after 5th day of my washout period, and it is there for 1 week. Now these two are because of my study drug or not? What is your view?
Not because of study drug.
So again, what happened to my emergent flag?
N.
Is this clear? All scenarios are good now? Yes or no? Team, after this is okay, understandable or not, confused? What is your view? I tried my best to make it. Let me know if there are any questions.
For me,
Okay.
it's clear, sir.
Wonderful. Okay, let me I also want to talk one more small topic here. Let me take this data first. This is for our understanding purpose. Let's keep this data. Okay. Next thing that I would need is all these things happened because of the washout period. That also we consider. These two. Imputations, date imputation. This is also very important.
So what do you mean by imputations or date
Calculations.
imputations?
Calculations. How do you derive that? Meaning, let's take these two guys. Two different tables. This is SDTM. This is going to be the other one, which is nothing but what I can call it as add-ins. All I need here is, because why I'm talking is this becomes difficult when I go with this, the complications part I'm talking about. Under the complications, I talked only two. What are them? Under the complications, I talked about only two of them. The two of them that I have talked here is going to be washout, bloody, so many mistakes. Severity, available. Okay. Now, what about this partial dates? Have you ever come across this? If you ever do medical history domain, this is more common. Medical history domain doesn't have complete dates. Why? That is, I met with an accident 7 years back. Okay, 7 years back, we met with an accident. On which day? If it is something very worse, I remember the date. If I don't want to remember that, I only know that sometime in the 2014 it happened. Maybe in the 2014 in the month of April it happened. So sometimes I can only have the year, sometimes I can have only year and month, sometimes I can have only year and only year also. Yes or no? These are possibilities, are there or not? Now the question is, if I have partial dates, how do I calculate it? That is what my question is.
A known part of the date is compared with the known part of the treatment date.
Okay, let's say 2017 one date. Okay, let's say 2016 one date. Here I'm going with 2016-02. Here I'm going ahead with 2016-03. 3 dates, guys. No date is available. Day is available. Only months are available. Here. What is going to be the start date for this?
That it depends upon the sponsor. Like somewhere they will consider the known part. If not, they will be considering as the Jan 1st as the, they will take like that.
If the day is unknown, what is
yes,
the scenario?
the unknown, they'll consider as 01 as the.
If
date.
the month is unknown.
01 January will be considered as the month.
If the year is unknown, no computation. We should not. Okay. Look, let's start talking. I'll update this particular one. Anyways, I'll go ahead with this theory. I'm going to copy paste it in a while. Okay. Simple. In general, what we do is, if only month and year is available, if the only month and year is available, okay, and if that month and year is matching with exposure start date, then you are going to take the same exposure start date. First thing, what is that? For an example, in this case, let's say I'm going with an example. My example is my what I can call it as my exposure start date. Exposure start date. Let's say my exposure start date is equal to 2016-03-14. This is my exposure start date. Now, can you see that it is in line with this particular one, last one? Yeah. So what I can call it as this one, I can say that it is on the same day. I can go ahead with 14th March 2016. Why I'm doing it? I know the details about when my exposure is getting started. I can match that. If not, I don't know. Look at this particular one. Those are not matching. It is something, it happened on here. It has happened on the other day. That is before 1 month it is. I don't know the dates. When that particular scenario exists, blindly I'll take start of the month. (2016), I don't know anything. I'll take it as 1st Jan. Start of the month, start of the year. Is that understandable? When only year is available, start of the year you can take 1st Jan followed by the year. Only when month and year are there, day is missing, exposure dates are not matching, just take it as start of the month. If exposure dates are matching, take the exposure start date as is. Again, there is a risk. Again, there is a risk. Can anyone tell me what is the risk here? Can anyone tell me, do you find any risk here?
Calculations might be wrong, sir. Like,
not only that, not only that.
Firstly, describe whether it is treatment emergent or not.
Forget about that. Okay, let me give the another example. Let's say my partial AE start date is equal to, I don't have any details, -- May 2023. May 2022, last year. My partial AE end date is equal to -- again -- just I have 2022. According to our thing, what is going to happen? What is the imputed date? What are the imputed dates? Partial AE start date, imputed AE start date is equal to 1st May 2022. AE end date, what is AE end date now? 1st Jan 2022. Anything wrong there? Anything wrong there? Come on, guys.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. End date is showing Jan and start date is showing May. How can
end
it
date is greater than start date, which is wrong. What you should do now?
For end dates, we have to consider 31st and December as the end date.
Exactly. Then in this case, AE end date is equal to 31st December. By default, end of the year, you're going to take it. All of you are able to follow now? These are few things I want to talk. Anyways, the imputation part also come. So I want to cover that particular one as well. Is that making sense? Now all of you are clear with your treatment emergent dates, treatment emergent adverse events, how it is going to be. I'll update the theory here. I don't want to take much of your time. It's already 1.5 hours. Make sense? Is this understandable? Questions?
How to do this coding wise, sir? Logic we have understood. Coding wise a
I
problem.
will share it. I will share the code. Don't worry. Tomorrow, can we discuss on the code? Same thing. Can we discuss on the code tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll do that. But logic is clear, right? All first dot, last dots only. All we need is first dot, last dot. So I'll go with the basic computation once, and I'll take the basic computation first, 15 days of the washout period, that 14 days of the washout period. Two conditions we'll take. For two conditions, we write two different codes. Okay. That we do tomorrow. Coding part never going to be the difficult one. Only thing is understanding the logic is always important. Once you know the logic, Google is there to help you with the code. Not a problem. But logic wise, all of you are clear. Can I have confirmation on this? So I have Anuradha, Devi, Kiran, Saga, Samata, Savitri, and Suresh. How about you guys? All of you are able to follow this?
Yes, sir.